Naomi Campbell was born at no years of age in May 1970 in the affluent, leafy London suburb of Streatham. She never met her father, who was conscripted into the French Foreign Legion within the year. Naomi's childhood as a child was much the same as any child's childhood. You know the kind of thing. Jumping up and down on her bed, being gobby, and singing into a hairbrush. However, stardom came knocking for Ms. Campbell one day in 1984 when a scout from a leading international modelling agency approached her at a South London bus stop and told her she was well fit. The scout's hopes were cruelly dashed, though, by the news that Ms. Campbell was a mere 15 years of age, so they agreed to meet a year later at that very bus stop. They did, and the paperwork on young Naomi's dreams was signed on the back of the 227 to Penge, calling at Chislehurst, Beckenham, and Crystal Palace. She celebrated by egging some geezer off the top deck by Eltham Tesco's. The 227 was a bus she was never to ride again. Campbell's star was soon in the ascendant, her modelling career stratospheric. But with most of her newfound work focused on the haute couture catwalks of Paris, the ferry trip from Folkestone to Boulogne was becoming increasingly tiresome. It was at this point that Miss Campbell secretly mooted the then laughable notion of a tunnel joining the UK with mainland Europe, carrying passengers on high-speed trains under the English Channel.
I thought she were bonkers. I mean, such an engineering feat had never even been considered, let alone, pulled off. It were going to need a bloody big drill. I said, didn't I? Didn't I say it were going to need a bloody big drill?
After initial resistance, the then heads of state, Margaret Thatcher and Francois Mitterrand, eventually caved in under intensive lobbying from Ms. Campbell, including her standing under the bedroom window at 10 Downing Street at 5 in the morning with a loudspeaker shouting, "Oi, Thatcher, where's my f***ing tunnel?" 6 years later, and her heart swelling with pride, Naomi Campbell herself drove the very first train through the new tunnel and made her Christian Dior spring collection show with hours to spare.
She didn't speak to me out, but but it was quite nice to meet her.
She later celebrated by egging some French geezer off the top of the Eiffel Tower. It was a fateful egging which would shape the next stage of her life.
Oh yes, I was enjoying the promenade on the banks of the Seine. With this chick I was trying to get hold of. She was working in a hypermarché. She was very tidy. When all of a sudden an egg came flying from the sky and covered my best Yves Saint Laurent shirt with the egg yolk. When I looked up, it was Naomi Campbell staring down at me, giving me the, how you say, the viz. I was smitten. I will never forget this moment.
An intense, tempestuous love affair blossomed between Campbell and her new beau, Pierre Renoir, and they were married within months. Their joy was short-lived, however, and divorce soon followed after Naomi caught her husband trying on some frilly French panties backstage at the John Galliano Autumn-Winter Show. Since the split, Ms. Campbell has dated some of the world's most eligible playboys, from Mick Hucknall to Henry from Neighbours, to the bass player out of U2. What's his name? Adam something. But in a cruel twist, true love has always eluded poor Naomi, and instead, with the kind of determination that has underpinned her life so far, she continues to focus on her twin pursuits, a glittering modelling career and egging people off the top of buses and tall buildings. Who knows what the future holds for Naomi Campbell? One thing's for sure, controversy will never be far away. Or eggs. Adam Clayton, that's it. Next week on the Beography channel, the turbulent life and times of George Sampson.
Original content every day. Channel B. Join us.